All right, the time is 7:35. I'll call this regular meeting of the mayor and council to order. Um, Today is January 26, 2015. Everyone is present. Tonight, for an invocation, Councilwoman Kraus will lead us.
Father, you guide and govern everything with order and love. Look upon this assembly of our citizens and city leaders and fill us with the spirit of your wisdom. May we always act in accordance with your will and our decisions be for the peace and well-being of all. Amen.
Tonight's announcements: tomorrow, January 27th, we'll have a planning commission meeting at 7 p.m. work session and a 7:30 p.m. meeting here at City Hall. On February 6th, we'll have a blood drive here at City Hall in the community room from 1:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. To learn more about blood donation opportunities, visit www.redcross.org or call 1-800-RED-CROSS. You can watch a rebroadcast of this council meeting on Comcast Channel 25 at 6:30 p.m. on February 8th. And our next regular council meeting will be February 9th. We'll start with a 6:30 p.m. work session in the conference room and a 7:30 p.m. meeting here in council chambers. The Board of Appeals meeting scheduled for February 10th has been canceled. That now brings us to the Pledge of the Flag, and we have Boy Scout Troop 557 with us tonight that will lead us into the pledge. Thank you, gentlemen. Now for ceremonial matters, we have Resolution 2015-03, a resolution honoring Snellville police officers for community outreach and communication initiatives. Whereas the Snellville Police Department is widely recognized as one of the state's finest city departments, whereas citizen outreach and communication is an effective means of preventing and solving crime. Whereas Captain Greg Perry has served as a liaison with the Snellville Neighborhood Alert Program and provided outstanding support for the improvement of communications between the Snellville Police Department and neighborhoods throughout the city. Whereas Lieutenant Rob Pendleton has provided support services and seminars for crime awareness and prevention. Whereas Sergeant Kevin Sebring has provided IT support and PowerPoint presentation service. Whereas Sergeant Trey Downs has provided safety and awareness support services and seminars. Whereas Communications Supervisor Barbara Radcliffe has provided dispatch communications assistance and seminars. And whereas these officers have gone above and beyond the call of duty by providing assistance and support on their own time. Now therefore be it resolved that the Mayor and City Council of the City of Snellville do hereby honor Greg Perry, Rob Pendleton, Kevin Sebring, Trey Downs, and Barbara Radcliffe for their exceptional dedication in developing new and innovative methods of serving the citizens of the City of Snellville, where everybody is proud to be somebody. Resolved this 26th day of January 2015. Do I have a motion to approve Resolution 2015-03?
Motion to approve Resolution 2015-03.
There is a motion by Councilman Emanuel. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Howard. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. That's 6 in favor. All those opposed, 0 opposed. The resolution stands approved. And I think we have the SNAP program present. Ms. Rollins founded the SNAP organization, so I'm going to let you, since they've been working for y'all, present this resolution to the officers. If the officers will come forward.
Carrier.
those officers don't get paid anything extra for coming and giving their time for that program. So thank you all for your dedication and service. We then have another dedicated individual in our city. It's the 2014 Snellville Senior Center Volunteer of the Year Award. And so this year, the Volunteer of the Year goes to Miss Lynn James of Snellville. Lynn has been a resident of Snellville for over 30 years. Not only does she volunteer regularly at the Senior Center, but she's involved in a variety of organizations. Lynn's an active member at her church at Snellville United Methodist, where she's a part of the Susanna Wesley Circle, the Friendship Sunday School class, and the United Methodist Women's Group. She also volunteers as a sanctuary saint by keeping the worship area tidy. Lynn is involved with the Potter's Touch Ministry at the church, and they make turbans and sleep caps for cancer patients. And she's also an active member of H2U, a volunteer organization at Eastside Medical Center, where she enjoys putting together the hospital brochures. You also may find Lynn at the check-in station or refreshment table working the Red Cross Blood Bank at the hospital. In her spare time, Lynn enjoys bowling and being a part of the H2U Trailblazers. Some other volunteer work she's in is the Samaritan's Purse, the Gwinnett Senior Golden Games, AARP Tax Services, and being a poll volunteer for Gwinnett County. She's become a mother's help in our community and freely donates her time on a regular basis doing household chores and babysitting for a busy family with 3 children. Wow. In her spare time, she is a red hatter, plays cards with 3 different Contesta groups, participates in a book club with her neighbors in Stockton Walk, likes to travel, and enjoys playing bunco and corkle. Did I say that right? Lynn will tell you that she just takes one day at a time, but as you can see, she loves staying busy. Lynn believes that having so much variety is the spice to her life. So on behalf of the City of Snellville, the Parks and Recreation Department, and the Snellville Senior Center, we want to say thank you to Lynn for her dedication of service in our community and for making a difference in the lives of others. If it were not for committed people like Lynn, we wouldn't be able to offer all the programs and services we do at the Senior Center. So please help me in congratulating Ms. James on receiving this much distinguished award for Volunteer of the Year at the Senior Center. That then brings us to the minutes. Do I have a motion to postpone the minutes from December 8th, 2014 business and regular public meeting?
Motion to postpone approval of the minutes till
Is that
February 9th.
There is a motion by Councilman Emmanuel. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a second by Councilman Bender. All those in favor of postponing the December 8th minutes until February 9th signify by raising your right hand. That's 6 in favor. All those opposed, 0 opposed. The minutes are postponed. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes from January 12th, 2015 business and regular public hearing?
Motion to approve the minutes from the January 12th, 2015 meeting.
There is a motion by Councilman Emmanuel. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Howard. All those in favor of approval of the minutes from January 12th regular meeting signify by raising your right hand. 6 in favor. All those opposed, 0 opposed. The motion stands approved. Do I have a motion to postpone the minutes from the executive session meetings?
Motion to postpone executive session minutes until February 9th meeting.
There is a motion by Councilman Emmanuel. Is there a second? Second by Councilman Kraus. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. That's 6 in favor. All those opposed, 0 opposed. The minutes stand postponed. We have no invited guests tonight. Now for our committee and department reports, we have Ms. Ferris, the chairperson of the Board of Appeals.
Good evening. The Board of Appeals met on December 9th, 2014 to hear BOA 14-10 and BOA 14-11. BOA 1410 was a request by Brixmor GA Apollo 1 for variances from landscape ordinances and development regulations for Wisteria Village Shopping Center. This was for the at-home Snellville tenant space. Variances were granted with conditions for the curbing and the planted islands. BOA 1411 was a variance request from District Space Limits by Linwood Development Group for Lot 16, Block A, Surrey Farms. This was a housekeeping request to apply the same conditions as approved by the City Council for the 95-lot development adjacent to New Hampton Drive. The variance was approved with the same conditions and variances approved by the Mayor and Council in Ordinance 2014-19.
Thank you, Ms. Ferris. Any questions for Ms. Ferris? Thank you.
You're welcome.
We now have a report from Mr. Sanders.
Thank you, Mayor. I think it's important for the public to realize that all governments in Gwinnett County are making progress on the SPLOST vote, which the voters were nice enough to approve in November of 2013. Two of those projects we're currently working on in the city of Snellville are joint projects with the county, and they're sidewalk projects, very needed sidewalk projects. One is on Main Street or US 78, running from South Gwinnett High School to the east to Rockdale Circle, and the other is Oak Road, which will run from Mountain View in front of the passive Oak Road Park and connect down to racetrack, the new racetrack facility. And I just wanted to let everybody know that we are about 95% finished with the survey and the right-of-way plans there. And I think it's important that property owners along that route, we will shortly be in touch with you. Those of you who are who we need construction easement or some very little right-of-way from, but everyone who is interested in that project, certainly anyone, property owner who lives adjacent to those two proposed sidewalks, please get in touch with, you can call my office, city manager's office at City Hall. You can contact Clark Patterson and Lee, our engineer on the project, but we are just now finishing up the survey, and we'll be in touch with property owners for needed easement and right-of-way. Two very good projects which have been discussed for a long time, and I just encourage anybody with questions to please call City Hall. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sanders. Any questions for Mr. Sanders? That brings us to our old business public hearing. We have first reading on CUP 15-01. This is for a church at the 2410 Wisteria Drive in Snellville. Do I have a motion to waive the first reading and place it on our February 9th agenda?
Motion to waive.
There's a motion by Councilman Kraus. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Emmanuel. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. That's 6 in favor. All those opposed, 0 opposed. The motion stands approved. B, we have a first reading on CUP 15-02. This is for a church at 2010 McGee Road and Fountain Square. So I have a motion to waive the first reading and place it on our February 9th agenda.
Motion to waive.
There's a motion by Councilman Kraus. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Emmanuel. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. That's 6 in favor. All those opposed, that's 0 opposed. The motion stands approved. Item C is first reading on ordinance 2015-01. This is an amendment to our solicitation ordinance. Do I have a motion to waive this first reading and place it on our February 9th agenda?
Motion to waive.
There's a motion by Councilman Kraus. Is there a second? Second. Second by Councilman Emmanuel. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. That's 6 in favor. All those opposed, 0 opposed. The motion stands approved. That brings us to our new business. We have consideration action on election of Mayor Pro Tem for 2015. Do I have a motion?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I make a motion that we nominate and vote on current council member Tom Witz to serve in 2015 as our mayor pro tem.
There is a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All of those in favor of the motion as stated signify by raising your right hand. That is 5 in favor. All those opposed, 0 opposed. Mr. Witz, are you abstaining?
I'm abstaining.
And so under our charter, right. You're recusing yourself? Okay, so then that is a 5-0. The motion stands approved with Mr. Witz recusing himself. Item B is consideration action on 2015 qualifying fees and dates. This is Resolution 2005-04. It's a resolution affirming the appointment of a committee to act as a municipal superintendent of elections for the City of Snellville elections pursuant to OCGA 21-2-70-1. Actually, I think the resolution is shorter than the title, so I'll read the resolution. Whereas the law requires the governing authority of the City of Snellville to appoint a person or committee to be the municipal superintendent of elections pursuant to OCGA Section 21-270.1. Whereas the law mandates that the municipal superintendent committee to be trained to perform the responsibilities of conducting a municipal election pursuant to Title 21 of Chapter 2 of the Official Code of Georgia. Whereas OCGA 21-131 requires the governing authority to approve and advertise the qualifying fees for each municipal office to be filled in the upcoming nonpartisan election. Whereas the mayor and council have a duty to fund the cost of training election officials and workers, the cost of compensation necessary to pay the officials and workers, and the cost of conducting the elections. And it is hereby resolved as follows. Nelson Williams, Mike Byrne, and Phyllis Richardson, in her individual capacity, are hereby named as the members of the Municipal Superintendent Committee as authorized by OCGA Section 21-270.1. Nelson Williams shall serve as chair of the committee because of his previous experience as the poll manager for city elections. All decisions of the committee shall be recorded in writing as required by law. The affirmative vote of 2 members of the committee is necessary to approve any action. The committee is hereby authorized and empowered to perform all the required functions of the municipal superintendent as those powers are set forth in Title 21 of Chapter 2 of the Official Code of Georgia. 2, paragraph 2, candidates shall pay to the city a qualifying fee of $180 for the office of mayor and $120 for the office of city council. This notice is given pursuant to OCGA Section 21-131. 3, the nonpartisan municipal election for the city of Snellville is hereby set to take place at the Snellville City Hall, 2342 Oak Road, Snellville, Georgia, on Tuesday, November 3rd, 2015, to elect a mayor and 2 council members for posts 1 and 2 of the city of Snellville. The posts for this election are currently occupied by Mayor Kelly Couts and council members Dave Emanuel and Diane Kraus. The qualifying period for candidates opens Monday, August 31st, 2015 at 8:30 a.m. and closes Friday, September 4th, 2015 at 4:30 p.m. Any person desiring to run for office shall qualify in the office designated for Municipal Superintendent Committee in City Hall by filing a notice of candidacy. 4, the city manager is hereby authorized to fund from the city budget and pay all reasonable costs associated with conducting the election, including compensating the members of the Municipal Superintendent Committee, the poll officers, including the poll manager and the assistant poll managers and poll workers, the cost of training all the election officials and workers as required by law, as well as the actual costs associated with advertising and conducting the elections and any required runoff if necessary. 5, the Municipal Superintendent Committee or its designee is authorized to publish the following public notice. Public notice of qualifying fees for a municipal election for the city of Snellville. Notice is hereby given for a municipal election at the Snellville City Hall, 2342 Oak Road, Snellville, Georgia, on Tuesday, November 3rd, 2015, to elect a mayor and 2 members, posts 1 and 2 of the city council. The posts for this election are currently occupied by Mayor Kelly Couts and council members Dave Emanuel and Diane Kraus. The qualifying period for candidates opens Monday, August 31st, 2015 at 8:30 a.m. and closes Friday, September 4th, 2015 at 4:30 p.m. Any person desiring to run for office shall qualify in the office of the city clerk by filing a notice of candidacy. Candidates must pay to the city a qualifying fee of $180 for the office of mayor and $120 for the office of city council member. This notice is given pursuant to OCGA 21-131. So resolved this 26th day of January 2015. Do I have a motion to approve Resolution 2015-04?
A motion to approve Resolution 2015-04 as read into the record.
There is a motion by Councilman Witz. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Emmanuel. Further discussion? I won't support the passage of this resolution tonight. Obviously, it's my, one of the seats up for election is my seat, and obviously I want to call for that election, but in the middle of this resolution is the creation of the Municipal Superintendent Committee. Typically, in the state of Georgia, the city clerk by law is the election superintendent. Ms. Fleeman, can you pull up the video, please? While she's doing that, Mr. Powell, we received this from your office this afternoon. Did you draft the resolution? It says Ms. Richardson in her individual capacity. Is there a reason for that language?
It's in the code section that's cited. It gives two choices. There's a default, which the default of that code section is the city clerk. And since this is being by designation to a committee, I wanted to remove any question of confusion with regard to the fact that this is not in her capacity as clerk. She's being appointed to the committee as an individual member. So.
And I think the code section says we also have to compensate the election superintendent, but we're not setting that compensation through this resolution. Is that correct?
And it's not necessary to do that. I think you've got work to do in organizing before you'll actually know the value of the services. I think it's probably something that should be assigned to the city manager in terms of organizing.
Have you contacted Mr. Williams, Mr. Byrne, or Ms. Richardson about this?
I'm not, it's not my nomination. It's not my process. I have spoken to Mr. Williams.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Powell. And so typically in the city of Snellville and in almost every city, I think, in the state of Georgia, according to the state election office, it always is the city clerk. To their knowledge, never has it been a committee ever before. And so we discussed this back on October 27th in work session. Ms. Fleeman, if you could play that video for me, please. And so again, my issue with this is it's just simply unnecessary to have a committee, a superintendent election committee. We have a city clerk. It has always been the policy of the city of Snellville for our city clerk to be our election superintendent. It's that policy not just only here in the city of Snellville, but in cities throughout the state of Georgia. Ms. Richardson actually, since she filled out her resume and was, I guess, recognized by this mayor and council as a city clerk in June, has gone to training that the city has paid for elections on September 10th, 2014, October 8th, 2014, November 6th, 2014, and January 12th, 2015. She actually is signed up and is going to complete her election certification next week. Is it February 3rd through 5th? And will be certified through the state to monitor elections, to oversee elections here in the state of Georgia. And the state has to certify all election superintendents, so she will have that training completed next week. To my knowledge, no one, I received this resolution this afternoon about 12:30 from Mr. Powell's office. That's the first time that I've received any information about this committee, received the 3 names of the people who are going to serve on this committee, even though we discussed this back in October. And to my knowledge, no one has even spoken to Ms. Richardson about serving on this committee until she received the same resolution and was told about it at 12:30 this afternoon. So to me, this is more of the same here in the city of Snellville. There's no reason for us to pay for a training for 2 other individuals when we have a city clerk that's capable, who has been trained, and who's being compensated to be the election superintendent. So although I support the calling of the election wholeheartedly, I don't support the creation of the Municipal Election Superintendent Committee. I'm sure somebody wants to comment to disagree with me. Mr. Witz? Nope. Mr. Howard? Okay. With that, I will call the question. All those in favor of Resolution 2015-04 signify by raising your right hand. That's 5 in favor. All those opposed, 1 opposed. The resolution nonetheless stands approved. That brings us to our council reports. Mr. Witz.
Very short tonight. I'm losing my voice, or continuing to not have a voice, I guess is better said. Thank you all for coming, and drive safe.
Ms. Bender. Mr. Manuel.
I'm going to steal Bobby's thunder tonight because I have photos. As some of you, I'm sure, are aware, we had a Give Hunger the Boot challenge from the city of Grayson to raise donations, both food and financial, for the Southeast Gwinnett Co-op. We've got signs throughout the city because this is an ongoing need. So even though the competition is over, we will continue to solicit donations for the co-op. Can we back them up? No, back them up. And it's generated a lot of enthusiasm. This fella came by, we were collecting on the green on Saturday, and he came by and he couldn't wait to give us his money that he had taken from his piggy bank. He wanted to participate. His name is Julian Rojas, and he was just as cute as could be and just really tickled that he could participate and make a donation. And we brought some of the food over Sunday night and kind of surprised. That's Laura Drake. She's the executive director of the co-op. And we brought a bunch of food over, and then Grayson showed up with a truck on Monday, and we had the cop cab there as well, continuing to raise awareness of the Don't Drink and Drive program. So we all unloaded. This is a scene inside. We had a bunch of volunteers, probably close to 40 or 50 people, who had volunteered to come out and sort. The co-op people actually counted, and then we had our volunteers sort. It's quite a process. If you've never seen it, you might take a ride over there someday and witness what they do. It's a very comprehensive process to classify the individual donations, separate them, and put them where they can get to them when they need to. And we had our standard group of volunteers. A lot of people came over. I'm sure you'll recognize some of the people here. You've seen them in a variety of places. I'd like to thank everybody who volunteered, came out and helped us. We even had Santa Claus show up, and that's Perry Edson, Stone Mountain Ice. He had his Santa Claus costume on. He showed up as well. And Melvin Everson was there. He came by. Next. We only had one casualty, and of course that had to be a jar of spaghetti sauce that we dropped on the way. The only item I can recall that fell out of a box, of course, had to be a jar, not a can. So that's the mess we had to clean up. And then this is the photo at the end where we had all the council members and staff members who showed up to participate, showed up, and we're proud to be giving Hunger the Boot. And I'd always emphasize this is a 24/7, 365 need, and the co-op can always use more donations. And it's amazing how much food they go through in a week. So if you have some food or are so inclined, we have a collection bin out here at City Hall. You can donate at various restaurants and banks around the city. And you can also donate food down at the Public Works Department. They have a collection point there. So I hope you all join us in giving Hunger the Boot on an ongoing basis, and I thank you for your help. Have a good night. A total of 22,000 units. That includes both money and individual food items. A dollar was considered a unit. So altogether, between the two cities, we raised 22,000 units. And that doesn't go as far as you think it does. Well, unfortunately, I was going to let that slide by, but Grayson was the winner. Grayson got out. I'm convinced that Mayor Allison was a bank robber in a previous lifetime. She seems to be able to get money out of people like nobody I've ever seen. But they won by quite a margin, and we're going to get them next year.
Ms. Kraus. Mr. Howard.
How's everybody? Good crowd. Thanks, Scouts, for coming out tonight. Y'all got off lucky. You're still here, and it's 10 after 8. What's up with that? As David showed you, you know, I just couldn't be more proud of Dave Emanuel and Kathy Emanuel for putting this program together. Where you at, Kathy? Raise your hand. You know, this thing is sprung to life since they've done this. And this is one thing that's happened with the city of Grayson. And quite frankly, we got our hats handed to us, and that's okay. It happens. But the co-op was the big winner. And the folks that, you know, need to use that facility, you know, can continue to do it. I think Denny's is opening this week. Shop local. Where's the excitement? What's up with the, you know, come on, the Denny's. And I think, Barbara, you and I are doing some judging over at the high school Wednesday, right? FBLA? You're not going to make it? Okay, well, that's okay. I thought you were. It's tax season. That's what Barbara's doing. We've got a lot of exciting things coming in the city, a lot of exciting, wonderful, good things, the town green upgrades, and just everything is looking great and looking good for 2015. So continue to promote our city, continue to be positive about our city, because it's what we've got going on. A lot of exciting things happening. So continue to shop local, continue to enjoy the things that a lot of people work very hard putting together so you can enjoy them in our city. And just know that our public safety department is out there working hard, and we appreciate what you guys do, all of you. Thank you all again, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Thank you.
That concludes the council reports. Now for the mayor's report. I want to congratulate Mr. Manuel and Mayor Wilkinson for a great job. I'm sorry I was unable to attend. Maybe next time we can schedule it a little bit later so it can coincide with the Martin Luther King Day March. I know Councilman Emanuel stopped by the march before it began, but as the chief and I learned, it was on New Jerusalem's time schedule, not necessarily starting time schedule. So even though it was scheduled for 10 o'clock, it didn't start until well after. So that's where I was this past Monday. If we can pull up those pictures. This was the city of Snellville. Oops, I'm sorry, not if we can go to the next. Yes, the city of Snellville's 4th annual Martin Luther King Day March. The theme of this year was Pursuing a Dream. And I want to thank South Gwinnett High School. They had their, well, first I want to thank the AKAs for coming out and supporting us. They had their sorority sisters out there in full force marching with us and also volunteering for the free lunch. They came Sunday, the day before, to help cook 40 turkeys we had prepared this year. So thank you to the AKAs and the Epsilon Alpha Omega division of the AKAs that came out. There we are at South Gwinnett High School serving the turkey dinner. And I want to thank the lady there next to me is Miss Beverly Johnson. She is the secretary at New Jerusalem Baptist Church, and she herself and Miss Richardson, our city clerk, because I was on maternity leave for most of the planning for this, they they really stepped up and they made this possible. We had Fox 5 there covering the march and the celebration, and the reporter said that this was one of the best MLK celebrations he has witnessed. So thank you to Ms. Johnson and Ms. Richardson for helping us pull this off. When I heard 40 turkeys and some 200, 400 people, I panicked a little bit, but you ladies did an excellent job of making this possible. South Gwinnett High School, not only want to thank Eric Thigpen, the principal at South Gwinnett High School. As you can see, they opened up the school for us to serve our lunch there, but they also, the junior ROTC participated, along with, you can go to the next one, Erica, the cheerleaders and the band. And so it was a great event for the high school to have all of them out there, and for the students to realize what an important day it was. So thank you to all the participants and to the high school and New Jerusalem Baptist Church. If we can go back to the very first picture, oops, and the beauty queens, I apologize. Well, we'll go there. This, there's also, if you haven't already, please stop by the community room. There is an exhibit on display by Mr. Leroy Banks and by Miss Muhammad, and their artwork is fabulous. It will be on display through the end of February for Black History Month, but some really amazing artwork. And so if you haven't checked it out, please come by the community room and see it. And then if we could go back to the first one. Then this past Thursday, I want to thank Councilman Kraus. I know she rearranged her schedule to join us, and I'm sorry the rest of the councils had conflicts, but we had a fabulous time at Provino's for our hometown connection. This was a meeting, Mr. Sanders was able to come, and Ms. Richardson was able to attend. This is a picture of Senator Gloria Butler and Eric Hubbard from Congressman Hank Johnson's office. Senator P.K. Martin was also there for a brief time, but this was a meeting of our local legislators, our congressman's office, along with the Evermore CID board was present, and also Principal Thigpen from South Gwinnett High School. We had no agenda. It was simply a time for us to sit down and socialize, so that when the time came when we needed something or we needed help, we wouldn't be afraid to pick up the phone and call each other, and the chief was able to attend as well. So it was a great event. We sat and laughed and had a good time, and I think we stayed longer than I expected, but I think a good time was had by all. So thank you to everyone. I know we had busy schedules for coming and making that a success, and hopefully it'll continue to be an annual thing. It's something we did a couple years ago. So with that, I will close my mayor's report. It's supposed to get very cold. I received the text that we're under winter weather advisory, so be careful tonight and tomorrow, and have a great trip home. Anyone have a public comment? No one signed up, Chief? No. So I'll open the public comment.
Tricia Rollins, 2088 Harbor Oaks Drive. I'm the chair of the SNAP group, and I just wanted to tell y'all thank you for supporting our police department. As y'all know, we have one of the finest police departments in the city and the state. I appreciate Dave Emanuel, Councilman Emanuel, for authoring the resolution tonight. As you know, I came from a neighborhood that had several break-ins, 46 break-ins, and I foresaw that there was a need for a neighborhood watch program. Our police department stepped up and met the neighborhoods. We now have 49 neighborhoods that are part of SNAP, and we could not do that without the support of the police department. So I want to thank y'all for supporting our police department and making it a fine police department. We could not do without Captain Greg Perry being in SNAP daily to talk to the neighborhoods, to answer any questions, and for all the officers coming forth with their expertise to educate the neighborhoods. I just can't thank y'all enough for supporting the police department. Thank you.
Jamie Dempsey, 430 Crested View Drive, Loganville. I see quite a few folks out here today that were involved in the kickball league over at Briscoe Park over the fall, and I just wanted to thank and recognize Parks and Rec for trying some new things, for you know, kind of being innovative and trying some new different leagues, and just want to thank them for that, as well as to issue a challenge to anybody who might be interested in trying to go with we had a consistent record this year. We lost consistently, but But I do. I want to thank Parks and Rec for trying something new, and we look forward to doing it again in the spring, and just want to thank you guys and look forward to it growing and being better, and encourage you to look at even some more new and different things through the Parks and Recs department. Thank you.
See no further public comment. The time is 8:15 and we are adjourned.